Episode 15 begins in Sakura's upstairs room at the Avalon residence. It's late at night, so although we didn't see it, but it is confirmed that Sakura had just transformed another card, a mirror card. So that makes it 27 on the list so far. And so with the mirror star card, the double of Sakura just told the cards that she'll have to talk to the real Sakura when she gets back. And wouldn't you know it, the fake Sakura was proven right when the real Sakura came back. So, the fake Sakura just told the real Sakura the good news that only her father Aiden just stopped by, but that's about it. Oh, by the way, Sakura has transformed two more cards on the list, so that makes it 29. So, when Sakura went into her upstairs bedroom, she was wore out. Again, we didn't see the two cards being transformed, but it is confirmed. So back with Sakura, who was laying flat on her back on her bed, that's when she got a compliment from Kiro. You did well out there. He's not kidding. It was great, Sakura says, but of course, in my case, I'm not so sure if I can transform them all, she said. Just do yourself a favor, Kiro says. Don't try to transform them all at once, okay? I know, Sakura says, but if I don't do anything about it, then I'll lose all the cards and the magic that goes along with them as well, she said. Then I guess you better hurry then, Kiro says. I know, I'm working on it, Sakura said. Then the fake Sakura has her turn to plead her case. Oh, about your star cards, she said. But before the fake Sakura can say anything, the real Sakura heard someone coming from up the stairs. So what she did first was to turn off the lights. Then the fake Sakura disappears into the star card book that Sakura had. Then Sakura went into bed. Suddenly the door opened. It's Sakura's older brother Tori, who just peeked in Sakura's room through the door. So Tori says, I know you're not sleeping, so I can hear you in the hallway. Get to bed, will ya? It's late. So after that, Tori closes the door. So, long story short, the very next morning, after Sakura woke up and got dressed, it was time for her to go to school with her brother. Kiro, meanwhile, was brushing his teeth, and he's getting really worried. And he says, Sakura, if I don't know any better, I think your brother is catching on to me. So, as Sakura was rushing, and that's when Kiro says, if we're not too careful, one of these days your brother's going to catch on to us, and if he does, we're going to be in trouble, Kiro said. Then I guess you'll have to be more careful then, Sakura suggested. Oh, and by the way, that includes you going downstairs to the kitchen late at night, Sakura said. So after Kiro claims his case to say he didn't do that, and that's when Sakura says, don't worry about it. Your secret will be safe with me. So after that, she left the residence and catched up with her brother to go to school. So Sakura had a thought that since the holidays are coming up, it was time for her to get presents for her brother, her father, her friends, and of course Julian. So Tori, Sakura's brother, although curious, wanted to know from Sakura, has she decided on what to get for her father yet? So Sakura says, nope, not yet. So Tori made a suggestion for Sakura to buy their father a wallet as a present. Not a bad idea. Besides, Tori said, he needs a new one anyway. That's a great idea, Sakura said. That's exactly what he needs. So after Tori made another suggestion to Sakura that she hopes she saves enough money so she can buy one at the mall, then she realized, oh my goodness, and that she doesn't have enough to buy their father a wallet that he needs. So Tori says, I was thinking about getting our father a wallet too, he said. So Tori made a suggestion by asking a question. Why not go to the mall together? Really, you think so? Sakura asked. Yeah, it'd be great, Tori suggested. But Tori and Sakura had found it really weird that for some reason Julian wasn't showing up, and now Sakura's left to wonder why. What's going on with him? But Tori doesn't say a word, so instead of answering Sakura's question, that's when Sakura went at the elementary school first. So before heading off, her brother says, "Let's meet here at 4 o'clock," he suggested, and so he heads off. So later at Tori's high school, now that's the exact same high school where himself and Julian are attending. Oh, Tori found Julian all right, asleep on his desk. So Tori did what any person would do. He approached Julian and then woke him up. He says, "Hey, Julian, wake up." When Julian woke up, he looked at Tori and says, "Oh, Tori, good morning." So Tori says, "Gee, you're here early today." "Well," Julian says, "since I've been sleeping lately, so I thought I'd come here earlier today," he said. So Julian went back to sleep again, but again Tori wakes him up. He says, "Hey, wake up! You can't keep sleeping like this," he said. And just when Tori was about to let slip to his best friend who he really is, that's when once again Ruby interrupts him. She says, "Hey, Tori, what's going on? I missed you," and she hugs him. So Julian went back to sleep on his desk again for the third time. Meanwhile, Eli's on the roof of the church, and he just pleaded himself a case. He said, "I think it's about time you listen to your intuition, Sakura," he said. So later at Sakura's elementary school, Sakura just told her best friend Madison the good news that she's meeting up her brother later so they could pick up a present for their father. Madison says, "Really?" Unfortunately, Sakura said, "There's bad news. She's not going to be able to walk her best friend home that day." So Madison forgives Sakura and says, "That's okay. I'm planning on having the holidays myself anyway." As a matter of fact, Madison says, "I'm planning on getting presents for you and my mother," meaning Samantha. Because, as Madison says in her case, the holidays are coming up after all, and she's not kidding. So after Madison heads off, that's when sitting behind Sakura was Lee. He's there. And so Sakura said that she had to finish her assignment. Then she told Lee, "Oh, by the way, since we're having classroom duties anyway, why don't you do the music room? I'll tidy up in here," Sakura suggested. So Lee says, "I have a better suggestion. Why don't I take care of the classroom and you could take the stuff to the music room for me after you finish your assignment," he suggested. So Sakura says, "Okay, good idea." So after Sakura finishes her assignment, she takes the things to the music room, and so after that she heads off. So as Sakura heads off to the music room, that's when she heard the sound of a piano playing that's coming from nearby. So inside the school's music room, we see Eli playing the piano. So when Sakura shows up, she made a compliment to Eli to say how beautiful the song is, and she was in awe. So Eli says thanks because he appreciated Sakura's compliment. Well, Eli just made an omission by confession to Sakura that he's been practicing. Now Sakura is curious to wonder what he's practicing for, and so he asks Sakura if she remembers the church that was up on the hill that's not far away. So he said that since the holidays are coming up, he should play his piano there at the church. And Sakura happens to agree with him and said that's great. So Eli's piano music continues to go on and on and on and on until Eli finally finished. Meanwhile, back at the high school, Julian and Tori had just left from there. So Tori wanted to know from Julian if he can make it to his house okay. Julian assures his best friend Tori that he'll be fine. But on Julian's way out, Tori once again tries to let slip to his best friend who he really is and why he's so tired lately. But once again, Tori gets interrupted by Ruby. Now you can tell that Tori's getting really annoyed with her, and I can't say I blame him. So back at Sakura's elementary school, now that both Sakura and Lee have finished their classroom duties, they made up outside. So after Sakura meets up with Lee, that's when Lee says, "What's going on? I thought you left already." "I thought I stopped by at the music room for a while," Sakura said. Well, Lee was about to head off, but then Sakura says, "Wait a minute." He says, "What's going on?" Sakura says, "Well, I have a bad feeling that I may have forgotten something or someone," she said. But just when Sakura was about to explain further, both she and Lee had sensed something really weird, and it's coming from a forest. So after they found out what was going on, Lee suggested that he should investigate while Sakura stays here. But Sakura says no way and that she's going along. But there's a problem. Her brother is supposed to be picking her up, and he may get suspicious if he finds out that she's missing, and that's a serious problem. So Sakura, after she finds out with Lee that this is a serious situation, Sakura has a plan to use the mirror star card she used in the beginning of the episode earlier to have her double take her place. Now that's a great idea. So after Sakura's double appeared from a mirror, that's when the real Sakura tells her, "Listen, I have a favor for you. I want you to meet up with my brother when he shows up to pick you up. I want you to go shopping with him," she said. So Sakura's double was more than happy to do a favor for her. But she was about to tell her about the star cards earlier before Sakura head to school. But Lee grabs Sakura's arm, the real one that is. He says, "What are you standing for? Let's go." And so off they went. So back with Sakura and Lee, who had just arrived at the forest, they could definitely sense something weird there. But what's even weirder, according to what Lee said, nothing has happened yet. But then suddenly, in Lee and Sakura's case, all that changed when, for some unknown reason, the metal railing came to life. So, long story short, back with Tori, who had just left the high school moments ago, he went to pick up his sister just the way he's planned. Oh, he found her all right, but not exactly his real sister, but he was unaware of it. But deciding to think nothing of it, Sakura and Tori decided to head off to the mall. So that's what they did. So back with Lee and the real Sakura, they were battling a metal railing that for some unknown reason came to life. Well, long story short, things are looking hopeless for Sakura and Lee. It seems that no matter what they did, none of their attacks worked. So they knew they needed an idea, but they had to come up with one quick. But then, long story short, Sakura has a plan. Instead of cutting the railing, why not dissolve it instead? And by how? Using the mist card, of course. If she has to transform it, then so be it. So, Sakura's plan worked. So, thanks to the mist star card that makes it 30 on the list, it dissolved the metal railing that came to life, and it worked. Before heading off, that's when Sakura made a confession with Lee that she forgot something, the song that Eli has been playing earlier back at the school's music room. So Sakura knows what must be done. She has to meet up with Eli. So, meanwhile, back with Tori and the fake Sakura, they were eating dinner at the restaurant. Well, the fake Sakura, though it was never explained, had just told Tori what had happened and asked if he could make a promise to not to tell the real Sakura about it, so he agreed. So Tori went ahead and gave the fake Sakura a present. So Tori made a confession that while he was out buying a wallet for their father, he thought he should pick something else for Sakura too. So he did. Then Tori says, "Oh, by the way, it's an early Christmas present." "You mean it's for me?" the fake Sakura asked. "It sure is," Tori said. So the fake Sakura went ahead and opened it up. There are a couple of green ribbons for her hair. Interesting. So the fake Sakura, after receiving the present, she said thank you to Tori. So after that, Tori said that it won't be necessary because he made a confession that he's the one who should be thanking the fake Sakura for trying to help her out. So later that night at the Avalon residence, when Sakura came back to her upstairs bedroom, she recorded a song that she played at the school's music room earlier. So it'll be played later. So Kiro had reprimanded her, "Do you know what time it is? You got me worried sick," and etc. And so Sakura apologized. So back with the real Sakura and the tape that she's got, she said that she has something for her. So the fake Sakura said, "Really?" So Sakura went ahead and played the tape, told you we'd get back to it later, and the song went ahead and played on the boombox. As the song continues to play, Kira wanted to know what's the big deal, what the song's for. Although Sakura was more than happy to answer that, the song that was played earlier is for the cards themselves as a present. And Sakura made a confession. The reason why she had the song recorded is because it was her token of appreciation for thanking the star cards for helping her when they're needed. Also, as Sakura says in her case, that she hopes that the star cards will keep working with her, and of course the fake Sakura agrees. Then she says, "Oh, about that, I've been trying to tell you all day long," she says, "that the star cards have a message for you." Then the fake Sakura says, "The star cards said, thank you for trying to transform the cards into star cards. They also said that they're glad to have you as a mistress. Even better, they just want you to know how much that she appreciates them and to have the cards help her out whenever they were needed." What's even more better is that the fake Sakura just told the real Sakura what the cards said, that they'll be there for her to protect her, no matter what. I guess you could say the real Sakura was more than happy to hear it from the fake Sakura herself. So when the fake Sakura disappeared, the mirror card went back to its card shape again. But Sakura saw something really weird. The mirror card's form wasn't wearing ribbons before, and now it does. So Kira was very curious and then told Sakura, "I know this music's not part of your talent, but I wanted to know from you, how did you learn to play the piano so well?" Well, Sakura confessed that it happened earlier back at the school's music room. So flashback, right before Sakura left that morning to meet up with Lee, she was asking Eli in the music room if he would teach her how to play the song on a piano, and so he agreed. And so that's what Sakura did, and that's why she recorded it. So back to the present in Sakura's upstairs room at the Avalon residence. She says, well, she didn't play the piano alone because she has Eli who could help her with that. Then Sakura angrily pleaded her case with Kyo that she's worked so hard on that song. "Well, I have to agree, that is quite of a present you did for the cards," Kiro said. "Thanks," Sakura said. "Now, according to Kiro, now it's time to transform the rest of the cards." Well, we have to agree with that because Sakura has 30 star cards so far, but there's still a lot to do. So that ends episode 15.